Welcome to the Scottish Rite Journal podcast, an audio presentation of the Scottish Rite Journal, brought to you by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite, Southern Jurisdiction, Mother Supreme Council of the World. This week's article is Preserving McGrady, Portrait of a Supreme Council Artist by Brother B. Chris Ruley, 32nd degree, KCCH, and comes from the March-April 2025 issue of the Scottish Rite Journal. On November 1st and 2nd, 2024, the Valley of Washington, D.C. hosted a special Unity reunion together with its Prince Hall counterparts in Washington. Held at the D.C. Scottish Rite Temple, located a mile north of the House of the Temple on 16th Street Northwest, this two-day reunion featured degree teams composed of Scottish Rite Masons from both jurisdictions and culminated with a special membership banquet on the last evening. To mark this historic occasion, the Valley made arrangements to restore and display a portrait of illustrious Edwin B. McGrady, 33rd degree, Grand Cross. During his long tenure with the D.C. Scottish Rite, McGrady served the Supreme Council as a drafter or illustrator under Sovereign Grand Commander Albert Pike, 33rd degree. Pike relied on McGrady to produce the Council's important documents, including early iterations of our membership patents. McGrady also may have produced copies of the 33rd degree ritual that illustrious Pike shared with his counterpart from the Prince Hall Supreme Council, Grand Commander Thornton Jackson, 33rd degree. Despite his many contributions, most Scottish Rite Masons are unfamiliar with the unique life of one of the Council's most prominent artists. McGrady was born in Calais, Maine on July 31, 1828. After a brief stint touring the world on a merchant vessel and serving in the Union Army, McGrady moved to the District of Columbia for employment in the War and Treasury departments. In the midst of the Civil War, he joined Freemasonry through Lafayette Lodge No. 19 in the nation's capital and was raised a Master Mason in July 1864. McGrady's foray into the Scottish Rite was relatively unique compared to his colleagues. He submitted his petition for membership in Mithras Lodge of Perfection in the Valley of Washington in December 1872, just 2 years after the Valley formed, and he did not complete his degree process until March 1873. There being no Council of Kadosh or consistory in Washington at the time, the remaining degrees of the Scottish Rite were communicated to him personally by William Morton Ireland, who illustrious Pike had appointed as a special deputy of the Grand Commander in the district. McGrady remained active in the Lodge of Perfection and soon joined the other small cadre of D.C. Scottish Rite Masons to establish the Robert de Bruce Council of Kadosh and the Albert Pike Consistory in 1874 and 1876, respectively. Soon after his initiation into the Scottish Rite, McGrady began working with the Supreme Council, which relocated to Washington, D.C. in the summer of 1869, along with Grand Commander Pike. Council transactions noted that he received routine payments for drafting services, an early predecessor to graphic design. For his work, Pike rewarded him with the distinction of KCCH in May 1874, just 2 months after becoming a 32nd degree Mason. 2 years later, in May 1876, McGrady received the Grand Cross of the Court of Honor, a remarkable honor, since McGrady had yet to receive the 33rd degree Inspector General Honorary. According to Pike, McGrady's Grand Cross investiture had redoubled his zeal. Pike noted further that McGrady's beautiful work has done so much to make our books perfect. No such Masonic works have ever been published. In his 1878 allocution, Pike recognized McGrady once again for the beautiful chromolithographic plates of the clothing and jewels of each degree that he produced for Pike's liturgies. Between 1880 and 1882, Pike and McGrady underwent a complete overhaul of the Supreme Council's patents, rituals, and other printed materials. Pike's allocution in 1882 notes the extent of this work. We now have 96 subordinate bodies, Grand Consistories included, which make regular returns and pay dues. We have printed in all 30 volumes of rituals, ceremonies, and other works, and 1 volume of our music. We have paid, for printing of these works, more than $35,000. The printing of the music alone will have cost us over $35,000. We have the electrotyped plates made from drafts prepared for us by Brother McGrawdy of letters of constitution, patents of the 33rd, 32nd, and 30th degrees, brief of the 18th, and diploma of the 14th, of commissions of foreign representatives, and diplomas of foreign honorary members, and of Knight Commander and Grand Cross of the Court of Honor. We have sent our rituals and other works as presents to all the Supreme Councils in the world, and no such Masonic works have ever been printed as are our style and cost, nor have such blanks ever been prepared for any Masonic power. Later in the same session, the Council voted unanimously to confer McGrawdy with the 33rd degree. In the early autumn of 2024, arrangements were made to restore a portrait of McGrawdy believed to have been commissioned by the Valley after his death. The piece was taken to Preservation and Framing Services, a leading fine art restoration firm in the Washington, D.C. area, where specialists cleaned and repaired the oil canvas and installed a new frame in time for the Unity reunion in November. The restored front piece now hangs proudly in the General Secretary's office of the District of Columbia Scottish Rite Temple and is a fitting tribute to a local Scottish Rite Mason and whose contributions to the Supreme Council still resonate today. Like and share this article, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you wish to comment, please leave one, and as a reminder, hit the notifications bell. Any accompanying photographs or citations for this article can be found in the corresponding print edition. The Scottish Rite Journal is published by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite, Southern Jurisdiction, Mother Supreme Council of the World. Mark Dreisenstock, 33rd degree, Managing Editor. I'm your host, Matt Bowers.